Hey, what's up, my minimalist SEOs? All right, today I want to cover a question that gets asked a lot in the SEO world. And that, my friends, is what is search intent? Now, the question kind of comes with not just what is search intent, but why the heck is it important? Now, if you've been doing any learning, reading, research, loving of SEO in the past couple of years, you've heard the buzzword search intent. Okay, and I want to go back. I don't want to call it a buzzword, and here's why. Because normally buzzwords are kind of trends, like they come and they go. But yeah, no, search intent is more of like a fixture. Now, it's an important aspect of SEO that is here to stay. And it's really been kind of, if we look at the past updates of Google's algorithm, it's really been the focus of the algorithm all this time. So before I kind of like jibber jabber and go on about search intent, I'm going to explain how it works in, of course, in a minimalist SEO kind of way. And I'm going to use the Minimalist SEO Manifesto, the first tenet of Minimalist SEO Manifesto, and that is Google's customer. So let's dive into what that means and kind of explain why search intent is really, really important. So right now, I'm hanging out at google.com, and I'm just a guy scrolling around. But here's the thing, is the second I put my cursor right there in that little search box, I become Google's customer. Okay, at this point, it's Google's job to take care of me. Whatever I type in there, Google needs to make sure that whatever shows up is the thing that is going to take care of me, right? Like every good business needs to take care of their customer, and Google, being a business, needs to take care of their customer. So whatever I type in here, Google needs to kind of figure out what the heck I'm looking for, what problem I'm trying to solve, what information I'm looking for. And with that is search intent. Google is trying to find the intent of my search. Now, here's the thing is Google will attack this in a number of different ways depending on the information that I give it. So in this case, I'm going to use my cheeseburger example. So if I go into Google here and I type in cheeseburger, okay, so what happens is Google says, okay, my customer just typed the word cheeseburger. What are they looking for? So here's the thing. That's super vague, right? Like I always use the story of like if I walked up to you in the streets and I just walked up to you and I just said cheeseburger, how would you respond? Well, you'd be confused, right? You'd be like, I don't know, this crazy guy just came up to me. Well, Google's doing the same thing, except this time they're trying to answer the question. So right now we've got hamburger restaurants. We've got information about cheeseburgers here. We've got places, where I can go and eat a cheeseburger. We've got nutrition facts. Got questions about cheeseburgers, some Wikipedia stuff. We got recipes here, and if we scroll further, there's probably videos. There we go. There's some videos right there. So it's like Google's really trying to figure out what the heck I'm looking for. So because my search intent isn't super clear, Google is now throwing a bunch of information to me. Now, if I maybe gave Google more information about my intent, like maybe I wrote cheeseburger recipe, Google now has a better understanding of what I'm looking for. And as you can see, the results, it's specifically about recipes. There's questions that are related to, making a cheeseburger. Kind of go through them. There's some videos in here, but more or less, these are all recipes, right? So let's just click on here and let's see, okay, we've got easy cheeseburger recipe, right? So now all of a sudden, Google understands, okay, I'm looking for something easy and simple. So what we're kind of getting at, the reason why the search intent is so important is, one, it helps Google help its customer, right? If Google understands the intent, it knows where to send its customer. Now, by you understanding intent, you know what type of content to create. So if you're targeting a keyword like cheeseburger, it's going to be really hard for you to write a blog post, create a video that's trying to figure out what the heck this person is looking for. Well, now if it's cheeseburger recipe, you've got a better understanding of what the intent is. And if we go easy cheeseburger recipe, even more so. So what you need to do when you're creating content, especially when you're doing keyword research and stumbled into this search intent issue, is get into the mindset of the person who's actually doing the search. What are they looking for? And if you've got a target keyword that you're not quite sure what the intent is, well, the best way to figure out what the user is actually looking for is to just go to Google and type your keyword. So for example, let's say I was targeting the keyword tennis racket. So I go in here, I type in the word tennis racket, and I'd be like, okay, I am wanting to create a piece of content around tennis rackets. Well, Google has determined based on the amount of data that Google actually has, right? Because people are searching constantly, and Google uses that information to better serve their customers, right? Google's data says, well, when someone types in tennis racket, it looks like they're trying to buy a tennis racket. So if I am creating a piece of content around tennis rackets, if I'm just targeting the word tennis racket, it better be a product, because that's what's showing up number one. I mean, it does down here kind of go into the local results, again, because Google's still trying to kind of figure out the search intent. But if I'm like, so if I go tennis racket, there we go, size guide. Okay, right away, the intent is quite clear, and Google is sending it to us right away. So what I'm kind of recommending is that when you have a target keyword, don't just look at, okay, is this a keyword that I can write about? Yes. Is this a low competition keyword? Yes. Does it have a good search volume? Yes. Go to Google and type in that keyword to see what types of results are showing up, because sometimes it might be product results, it might be news results, it might be local results, it might be videos. You need to make sure that the content you're creating is matching the intent of the searcher, and the easiest way to do that is to literally just go to Google and type in your keyword and see what Google has already determined what the intent is. And if you do that, your piece of content is going to have a better chance at ranking. It's going to have a better chance of actually solving the problems of the person that's searching. And you're going to have a better chance of getting more and more traffic as Google begins to trust you, because guess what? You're taking care of Google's customer.